how are you doing? Are you ready? We are going to do Fitball today, and I am joining you from the garden with a little bit of sunshine for your day. So you want to start standing, grab your Fitball, come to the back edge of your mat. Go ahead and place your feet parallel, toes are facing forward, and you can go hip distance apart if that feels good, or you can go a little bit closer together. We're just going to start with a couple spinal stretches here. So fingertips are just on the ball. With an inhale, I want you to roll the ball forward, lowering your chest down towards the mat. Ears are between your biceps here. Take a nice big inhale, stretching the spine forward and back, nice flat back. With an exhale, I want you to heavy the head and the tail as you round your back and draw the ball in towards you. You don't have to squeeze it up to your legs, just draw it in as you're rounding your spine. And then you're going to inhale, release and reach long forward through the crown of your head and back through your tail. And you're really trying to press your chest down towards the floor below you. Exhale, round the spine, heavy the head and the tail, pulling the tail between your heels. Kind of vaulting up your mid-back, rounding, and then inhale and wave your spine back out to this nice flat back. If you need to bend your knees here for flexibility, please do so. Exhale, round. Let's do two more. Inhale, release and stretch through the backs of those legs. Exhale, round. Last one. Inhale, reach and stretch. And exhale, rounding up. We're going to start to wave the spine out again, but this time I want you to stop about midway. So you're going to keep your chest slightly higher than the hips behind you. Walk your left foot right under the center of you and reach your right leg straight back behind you. Now you're going to balance your weight between your arms and your left leg. So we want some body weight to be over this ball here because we're going to challenge our core and our balance or our stability as we lift the right leg up and down, lifting up and down. The idea here is that as you raise that right leg, you don't want, I'm going to lose my balance looking over at you there, you don't want to open the right hip out to the side, which would be like this, right? So I'm trying to keep my hip bones pointing down towards the floor, really pulling that leg back from the fold of the glute. Let's take it for 5 and 4. Keep that spine nice and long. Think of kind of stretching your spine out. On this one, we hold it up behind us. Now I want you to cross the leg behind you, tap down, lift up and out, and tap out. So now you're drawing like an arc, semicircle back behind you. You lift up and cross, tap down, up and out, tap out. As you do this, you're still trying to keep your hips square to the floor, whoa, and the ball in front of you without jiggling around too much like I was just there. But if your body is fighting to find that stability, that means we're working, and that's where we want to be. All right, let's go for 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. Tap all the way out. Bring that leg back long behind you. And now step it underneath, right where your left foot was. Extending that left leg back out behind you. We lift and lower. Pull and lower. That's it. Really engage that glute. Try and keep your weight balanced between both arms. So not listing to the outside of your right hip. That's it. As that leg lifts back up behind you, draw your abs in so you're not dumping into your low back and overextending that lumbar spine. It's always more of a challenge when I choose to do this outside because the ground is uneven. So on top of the ball, you can see me moving all over the place here, trying to hold it together. Hold this back here. We're going to cross and tap down, lift up and out, and tap down. So start to draw your little arc here. That's it. without wagging your tail behind you. So without shifting those hips right to left, we're really trying to keep the hips steady and stable. You can think of if someone was behind you, pulling your leg back away from you. That's kind of what you're trying to mimic. That's it. Let's take it for 4 more. And 3. So you might have to reduce your range, right? If you feel yourself wagging your tail too much, that's okay. 1 more time. Lift it up and bring it all the way back underneath your hips. Reach that ball out and away from us now, because we're going to take it into a plank, but stay on your hands if you can. A modification would be that you can roll onto your elbows here. That's not a problem. If you're going to choose that, you're going to come back to this standing position before you transition into what we're rocking back and forth between, because we'll be going back and forth between our plank position. Step the left foot to the middle, reach the right leg back. We're going to reach our hips back, right leg back behind us as we bring the hips back over the ankle. And now we're going to try and lift this ball long and up. Reach it back out, trying to stay on that one single foot and come back into your plank position. Okay, so let's do that 4 times. As you come back, you can always bend into the standing leg, tap the foot down behind you if you need to just find your balance, and then lift and lower. So you go what you feel comfortable with, right? It's quite challenging to the supporting hip. That's it. And reach out to your plank. 2 more. Lift. Reach out and come to your plank. 1 more time. Pulling that ball back with you. Lift it up. Set it down. Go back out into your plank here, you guys. And now switch your feet behind you. Right foot is down, left foot is reaching. We come back into that standing single leg position and then lift the ball up and reach it back out in front of you as you lower into your plank. Shoulders over, hands. Coming back. Again, if you need to touch down behind you just to find your balance, go ahead and do so. Back to plank. You can see that I'm needing to do that with the instability of the ground underneath me. Lift for 3. That's it. Pushing it out. 2 more. Up. That's it. And 1 more. Good. Find that balance. Take that picture and bring it back out into your plank position. From here, we're going to come down onto our elbows and back up onto our hands. Down onto our elbows and back up onto our hands. Now, if that's too much, you can stay here on your elbows and push forward and back. Forward and back. Or you come up and roll down. And up and roll it down. Let's take it for just 4 more. These are tough. For 3. For 2. That's it. I used my hips a little bit on that one. That's okay. To get back up, step your feet in and slowly roll it up. All right, how was that for a nice little start? We are going to bring that ball to the back of the mat and come to seated on the ball. Separate your feet to about just hip width apart here. And before we roll down onto the ball, we're just gonna tip our tail underneath us and then send it back behind us. As we do that, the ball's gonna roll slightly forward. We're gonna push it back, rolling it underneath us and then back behind us. Make sure that the movement is all done from the pelvis, tucking and extending, tucking and extending. That's it. Round and extend. Good. Good. One more time. Now that you have this tuck, I'm going to have you walk your feet slightly forward, bringing your low back onto the ball, hands behind your head, and you're going to roll it all the way back out over that ball. So you have a nice extension here. From this position, take an exhale, close those ribs up, push them back against the ball. As you round all the way forward, straighten your legs and your nose come over your knees. Bending the knees, tipping that tail right back underneath you, and rolling it back out over the ball. We exhale round and come up and over. Inhale and then exhale and articulate that spine back out over that ball. That's it. Good. Take it for 3 more like this. Just warming up that spine in both directions here. And 2. Always make sure you're not pressing on your head. Your hands are just there to support the weight of your head, so your neck has some support. As you come back down here, right at this position where your low back is resting, I want you to walk your feet just one small step forward and lower your hips slightly down towards the floor. Your low back is fully supported. Let's kind of come about here. And the upper back is off the ball. We're going to inhale back and exhale forward. We're not going to move our legs anymore. So the bend that you have in your knees, you want your feet to be right underneath your knees and not really any closer. They can be a little bit farther away, but you want to make sure that they stay still. And now all the movement comes in through just your torso. So focusing on that core, especially at the top of this movement here, really press your low back against the ball. So the ball is amazing for that because you get that feedback and you can really feel if you're engaging in the core. That's it. We'll take it for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. One more. And all the way back down. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl halfway forward. So your upper back is lifted, your low back is pressed against the ball, and your belly is already engaged. We're going to, from this position, lift up and twist to the left and back to that start position. So it's a smaller movement and we have reduced our range, but we're really focusing on that left oblique, squeezing that out as you lift up and twist and back down. So legs aren't moving or pushing, the knees are staying put. I'm going to keep my hand here, or I can go behind. I was going to say, if I keep having my left hand behind my head, you can't see me. All right. Know that if you bring your arms here, that actually helps you a little bit in the movement. It makes it slightly less difficult with the arms back behind the head. It makes your lever heavier and longer behind you, so the abs are working even harder. So you can always come here. We're gonna hold it at the top and we're gonna pulse tiny pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, scoop that belly, 2, 1. Come back to start and we go right over to the right side. So no break in between. That's it. Really press that low back against the ball. Keep your pelvis tucked. So you want to make sure you don't start to arch your lower back here and that the back is looking for a way to work for the front of the body, to work for the abs. That's it. Remember, arms forward will reduce the weight of your lever. Really use your out breath. That really helps to get that deep abdominal engagement at the top of the movement. We're going to hold it at the top and we pulse for 10. That's it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, twist, 2, twist 1, all the way back out, and stretch that front of the body. That feels so nice here. All right, you guys, take a big inhale. You're gonna curl it back forward, straighten the legs as you come up, and now we are going to walk out, okay, until, you didn't need to walk back up, I don't know why I did that. We're gonna walk out until our shoulders and head are on the ball. You can clasp your hands or just have them together here. Go ahead and have your feet at a hip distance apart. If you want this to be more challenging, go ahead and put your feet and your legs together as you twist from one side to the next. I had a little something that fell on my eyelashes there, a little leaf. Good. So working again through the obliques, rolling from one side to the other. Whoa. And like I said, if you want this to be more difficult, you bring the feet together so you have a more narrow base of support, and you really have to work to keep the balance. Good. Now bring your hands behind your head. You have a couple options here. Your hands either stay behind your head, or your arms can go straight down and your fingertips can try and reach out for the ground. Depending on the size of the ball, you may or may not touch the ground. I like to have my hands here. We're gonna cross the left leg over the right knee, lower the hips down. We're gonna lift the hips up and kick the left leg straight up, cross and go down. We take it for 10. That's it. Good. Again, to increase the difficulty here, you would put your hands behind your head. Good. We go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Now bring the left foot down, right foot crosses. Here we go. We lift the hips and kick. Cross and lower. Lift, kick, cross and lower. That's it. 8 more. That's it. Take it for 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Lower it down. And you can just sit down onto your mat. And I'm going to actually bring the ball over in front of me. So we're going to start on our left hip and our left side first. Bring that ball just up onto your left calf. Right leg goes straight over the top of that ball. Right hand can be your kickstand. And you're going to lift up into a side plank here. You can be on your elbow if you prefer. That would be a modification. You lower the hips and lift the hips. Lower and lift. Notice that I don't have my hips going all the way down because I want to keep my stabilizing arm completely straight. You've got it. As well as my legs. Because I'm really trying to squeeze that ball from my inner thighs, not so much from my feet or my calves. Good. Let's take it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower it all the way down. Lie down onto that left ear. Legs lift and lower. Up and down. You're still holding onto that ball. The lift is small, depending on sort of your body's flexibility, but you don't have a long ways to go with that ball between the legs. Take it for 8, 7, 6, belly in, 5, 4, driving from that bottom inner thigh for 2. And 1. Beautiful. Roll onto your back before we go to the other side. Bring your heels on top of the ball, arms long by your sides. We're going to roll our hips up into a bridge. Reach the legs out straight, and we pull and reach. Pull and reach. To make this harder, as your legs reach out straight, you would only have your heels on the top of the ball. Very little contact with the legs to the ball. To make it a little more accessible, you would have more of the backs of your legs onto the ball. So totally doable for whatever level you might be. Under and reach. Keep those hips high. Arms are strong, pressing down into the mat. We have 4 more. And 3. My legs are together. I forgot to tell you that. For 2. Last one. Legs straight and roll the spine down. Now you can turn right over to your right side. I'm just going to continue to face you. So I'm going to spin around here. Again, right leg goes straight. The ball goes on top of your calf. Left leg comes right on top of that ball. I'm going to just find myself here on this side with the uneven ground. And here we go. Hips go down and up, down and up. That's it. I've got to kind of find a spot to focus on that's not moving, that's close to me. For some reason, this side is harder. And when I'm looking off at you guys, I'm finding it even harder. Keep those legs straight. Try not to do something funky with your feet. I can feel my left foot kind of trying to kink in a little bit. Good. Hips down and lift. That's it. Take it for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. On 1, we sit it down, lie it down onto that right ear, and the legs lift and lower, keeping them nice and straight. If you feel yourself starting to arch in your low back here, you can bring the legs slightly forward in front of you. That will help to target the obliques and not be using your back to lift the ball in the legs. Good. Keep going. That's it. Call for 6 more. And 4. Pushing up with that bottom inner thigh. Last one. Good job. I want you to turn back onto your back here. I'm just going to adjust and get that ball into your hands. You're going to press the ball against your shins. So our legs are going to come straight up to the sky. Arms go straight up, and here we go. We're going to lengthen our left leg down and away, and the right arm back behind us, and then come back to pressing the ball. So one leg and the opposite arm lower down and reach back and away. You can always go less low with the leg, and that will modify this for you. You can also bend the knee, tip the toes down, come back in and straighten the leg up at the top. So there are some modifications for you if you find that this is just a little bit too much. And that it's a little strong on hip flexors too. So you'll still get all the work into your abdominals, not to worry. And we'll go for 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. Hold it here. Bring the leg and opposite arm to the side and back in. To the side and back in. We'll do 4 more on each side. Try not to go so far as you start to tip to the side that your leg is opening on. So your range is going to look different than mine, and mine than yours. Controlling everything from the center. Last one on each side. Bring it in and put your feet down. You can shift your knees from left to right, but we are going to stretch out those hip flexors now. So go ahead and come up to seated. You're going to come up to your knees, have the ball right in front of you. You can open your knees to hip distance apart. I think that would be a comfortable space. And then you're going to press the ball against your thighs and push your hips into the ball. So I'm actually leaning into the ball here. Your hands go on top of the ball. Lift your right arm up, reach back for your right heel as you press your hips into the ball. You can bring your left arm up like I did. I just didn't even think about it. I was going to say to keep it down here. So whatever feels best for you. If you feel like your ball is gonna escape you, keep your hand there, obviously, so it doesn't roll away from you. If you feel like it's pretty well wedged between your hips and the floor, you can bring this sort of nice windmill action to the arms with the upper body, which I find just gives a really nice openness to the chest and also helps the body remember it isn't crunching back, it's reaching and arching up. Okay? Keep the glutes nice and active here. So you should feel those hips really pressing against that ball, pinning it down. Last time to the left. Oh my goodness. There is the most amazing jasmine outside this fence. You guys are finished. And it's like this fragrance that is wafting through the air just now. I caught a fragrance of it. It was amazing. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Got a little bit of a workout with me, as well as challenged your stability and your balance. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for moving with me, you guys. If you liked this workout, give it a thumbs up as that helps out the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you get a notification each time I upload a new video. If you're interested in more full-length workouts or live classes each week, come over to my website at goneadventuring.com. Join us. Let's do this together from home at any time, from anywhere. I'll see you soon. Bye.